Hello everybody, this is Last Game, and I'm coming at you with another video. Now, today's video is on a pretty simple topic, I'd like to say. It's that the fact Helldivers is so back with their recent updates. Now, it does have some problems, but if you saw, I took a break from it for a while. And yeah, I kind of just needed a break. But I'd like to mention, with this new update, with the two new biomes, the tropical biome and the tundra biome, there's a lot of things that really just revitalized this game for me, and I wanted to kind of go over them with y'all. So yeah, this is really going to be a video compilation of those reasons. And similar to my first video, it's going to be 5 reasons, so yeah. Anyways, thank you for all the support on the shorts and videos, and let's get into this one. So let's get into number 1. Number 1, I've already mentioned, but just the new biomes in general really give this a huge, birth of life. And I'm pretty sure they've revamped all the biomes in the game with new visuals. But the new biomes they added are stunning. And as you can see now, I remember just hopping on the mission on this new planet with new biomes and absolutely being stunned with how good it is. It looks insane. And there's just so much to do on these planets. They've added new, bases, interactions, stuff like that. And these new planets, which, yes, they added new planets to do this, look stellar. So, yeah. Personally, that's one huge plus for me, because the biomes started getting stale, and some biomes just weren't that fun to play on. Because, for example, we all know the entrenchment tool. Basically just a shovel that lets you dig trenches. It wouldn't work on some planets for some reason. So you had to, get an explosion. They pretty much fixed that with this new update. So, yeah, that's just a huge plus for the game. Because now the entrenchment tool works on, every planet unless you're digging into, a rock. In which, yeah, I don't know what you were expecting, but it should work on, everything now. So have fun with it. I know that was a huge bummer for me and my friends when, we'd be playing on a planet. One of us brought the entrenchment tool, so they'd try, digging into the ground just to realize, it's a rocky planet, I guess, because for some reason it's not letting us dig into the ground. But yeah, they fixed that with this update, which I like to say is a huge plus for me personally. So yeah. Number 2. Now, I don't know if you've heard this, but they added a new war bond. And for those of you who don't know what war bond is, well, war bonds are just packs with more weapons and stuff. So anyway, they've added a new one of those with exosuits, and adding 2 new exosuits to the game, and adding a new support weapon, which is a stalwart, but comes with 2 and is expendable. Then you also have a new gun, new sidearm, new armors, new everything. They've added a lot with this update on top of, the biomes update. On top of that, they've added changes to a lot of weapons, I'd say for the better, because it improved a lot of weapons that were in a bad state. So that really is another plus. If, one of your favorite guns got, nerfed to the ground, then, yeah. Now it's just most likely usable again. So you can really just use anything now. And there's, once again, no meta. Which for a bit there was one, but they fixed that. So, yeah. Another reason to come back to the game, in my opinion. Number 3. Now, recently there has been an update to the UI and, well, the character's AI, well, there's a few smaller updates to factions and, their overall looks and what they do. But the major thing I want to talk about is the AI of the characters just really improved. And for me, that's a huge plus. Like always, I think that games where you're playing against, well, bots essentially really do need a good, like, AIs and stuff in the game, or else it'll just not be fun for the players. And yeah, they really cooked with the AI update here. Because occasionally you'd see, it wasn't like often, but it would be really annoying when one of the bugs all of a sudden became, I don't know, like self-aware or something, and then just refused to fight. They got rid of that, and then a lot of the other issues you could have found with the AI. So that's just a huge plus for me, but yeah. Anyways, I'll just, stop wasting your time and let's move on in the video. Number 4. Now, another huge thing for me that Arrowhead fixed was just really the game's biggest problem for me. It got boring. They added a bunch of stuff to it that really rejuvenized the game for me. It made me, think back to when I first started the game and had a lot of fun. It really was huge for me that they did this. I don't know about y'all, but they kind of fixed the play structure. And that could have just been me coming back to the game after, a few weeks to a month. But for me, that really left an impact. And for you, it might not have, but they've updated the game to the point, and they added so many new events that can happen that you're just really not expecting it. It allows for a lot more replayability, in my opinion, which, can not really matter for you, but for me, it matters a lot. And I know for a lot of other people, the replayability really matters. And I know for a lot of people, this is a huge problem that they have with the game. And, well, the game was kind of lacking the replayability after a while. So, yeah, they kind of fixed the replayability with a lot more events that can happen while you're going on a mission. A lot more, things that can go wrong while you're, engaged in a fight. They've kind of just fixed that lack of replayability after a while. And they've added a few more mission types. Now, I know there were a lot of mission types and a lot of things that could happen, but once you experience it all, there's not much that will surprise you. But they've added a bunch more that can happen. And yeah, this is just a huge, plus for me. Deserts can have dust storms. I know it's similar to certain events, but it's a whole different thing. Because, acid rain, which was, a lot more different, it would often just get on my nerves because all of a sudden it seems like I'm wearing light armor with none of the buffs of light armor. And I know it would degrade, the armor value of, my enemies. But when you're really facing a factory strider in acid rain, it doesn't make a difference. And you're really just going to have a problem either way with the factory strider. So it really just seemed like a debuff to you, which, for me was really annoying. I don't know about y'all, but it was annoying when that happened for me. It might not have been as annoying for you, but it definitely was for me. And the desert storm's kind of the good with none of the bad, in my opinion. And there's snowstorms, there's all kinds of stuff, which I would like to mention. Number 5. Number 5 is just the game seems a lot more sewn together and some of the animations look better, which isn't what I'm really going to talk about here. The animations, for me at least, as long as they're, decent. They don't matter. But what I want to talk about is they balance the game. And I'm not talking about like enemy AI or anything, but I'm talking about how they, buffed or debuffed the enemies. And that really was just a huge plus. Some of the enemy factions or sub-factions were just genuinely really annoying. Like right here. For those of you who know what these guys used to be like, they would have a huge explosion range that would just dump a bunch of acid on you. It would melt your health, so if you fought like one, you could easily die to it really fast, and you would burn through your stims. Now, as long as they're like right up against you, then you're gonna take the damage. But if you just shoot at them from a distance and hit your shots, you'll be fine. And as far as the video goes, we're coming to the end of our time. And I'd like to say, well, thank you for watching. Now, there's most likely a video that's being recommended to you on the screen. If you wouldn't mind clicking that, liking this video, and subbing to my channel would help out a ton. And I'll see you in the next video. See ya.